If you're a fan of monstrous trucks and beast-like vehicles, and like a YouTube channel that keeps providing you with constant entertaining content on truck modifications and rebuilds, then Dmaxryno is certainly the guy for you. With a subscriber base of almost 350,000 subs on YouTube and a total viewership of 80 million views, this man certainly knows what he's doing. But who is Dmaxryno? What is he worth? And how did he manage to grow his empire? These are among some of the questions that we'll be answering in today's video, so stick around to the end to find out more. This local truck geek has a way of living his life. His collection of trucks is, well, a truckload, and he certainly knows how to play around with them, with regular uploads of videos giving his vehicles a paint job and modifications to giving reviews about the new trucks to keep his audience well informed. Dmaxryno, or Ryan, has kept his audience engaged for over a decade and a half now. Let's start from the beginning. Ryan was not the one who came from a family of great wealth. All his life he was raised by parents who did blue-collar or manual worker jobs, just like the rest of his family. He was always fascinated by trucks and decided to take his talents online by starting his YouTube channel in 2006. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. There's a lot more to Ryan's career before he started taking YouTube seriously. At the age of 15, Ryan was working just like any other 15-year-old in his vicinity. He always had a love for real estate, and hence he used to work open houses for a real estate agent. He used to go to houses, set up signs, and give tours to potential buyers. At age 16, he took his resources to the local golf club where he served as a golf cart cleaner. He took old golf carts, cleaned them, and drove down fresh golf carts to the drivers. That's where he found his fascination for these carts as well, to the point where he decided to keep one in his shop. His role also included having to manually pick up golf balls from the golf course. Eventually, the manual hustle and the overall job started to get to him around the end of high school, which is why he decided to quit his job and actually invest his time into something he liked, which was real estate. During high school, he started taking all the necessary courses that one had to take to get their real estate license, which he passed before graduation. He then set out to take the state test to get his license, but was unsuccessful in doing so due to some scheduling issues from the authorities. By the time he was issued a date, he had almost forgotten everything about the test and decided it made no sense. Once he was done with senior high, he was sitting in class when a teacher of his started asking everyone which colleges they had applied to. When it was Ryan's turn, he simply said that he was not considering college and instead was planning on taking the blue-collar line and working in concrete and masonry. And that's exactly what he did. He took up a full-time job in construction with the vision that someday he would start his own construction firm. He worked happily in this field as a worker for 7 years. In 2015, he eventually started to feel the monotony of his profession. This was his cue to change his title, try out some new trades, and explore the construction scene with a broader perspective. Later that year, he set his mind to getting his general contractor's license, and as we see by all the tools in his garage, we can understand that's exactly what he does for a living. Ryan is a contractor who owns his business and has been running it for almost 6 years now. He's also said that in the past, the reason he doesn't work for a company is because he's not a good employee. He believes that he works better when leading the pack, and working for someone and taking orders to execute their plans has always been difficult for him, especially because in his working days, he always had his own plans. This mindset of his has always made him encourage youngsters out there who feel the same way as him to go out there and work for themselves. Ryan originally started the apparel brand with intentions to restore his pride in being a blue-collar worker. Ryan started his own clothing line on top of his construction company called Work For It Apparel. He initially was just selling a couple of motivational hats, but when he saw that his products were getting a lot of love from his fans, he set to branch out his product line. Today, his clothing line has an entirely functioning website that is rolling out thousands of orders every single year. Back in the day, he was managing the company from his home, but with the increasing demand for his products, he had to move his products to a warehouse. Ryan was caught up with his two businesses anyway, and to add fuel to the fire, he decided that he wanted to start taking YouTube seriously. He had a couple videos here and there in the past, but there really was no consistent schedule, so he switched on his camera, got his trucks in the garage, and started doing what he does best. And as you can see, he did well. So, what is Ryan's goal? Ryan stated, "I strive to show that the blue-collar workers can be successful and own nice things." Ever since its inception, Ryan's channel has gained over 300,000 subscribers, who follow Ryan along his life's journey and, of course, his 2016 GMC Denali. Trucks have always been a part of Ryan's life, and now that he owns his own construction company, they are much more so. The description Ryan offered for his 2016 GMC 2500 Denali HD was bigger, badder, better. I had a similar truck before this one, Ryan explained, but I was hit by a drunk driver one night and the truck was totaled. After that, Ryan swore to make his next truck larger, badder, and better after the tragedy. With support of his friend Zach Garcia, Ryan formed SR Designs and began planning and shaping the future. Suspension is arguably one of the most important parts of any raced vehicle. Ryan chose a Bulletproof Suspension's unique 14-inch coilover conversion kit, built by Bulletproof Suspensions. Ultimate Air Ride created a 4-link rear suspension setup with adjustable ride height from 9 to 14 inches in the back. 2 Extreme Air high-output air compressors with dual tanks provide air to the upgraded suspension. Ryan can adjust his ride height settings from the driver's seat using the AccuAir remote. Ryan knew that he needed to improve the performance. He goes on a lot of adventures with his rig, so he never knows when he'll need some extra power. The improvements began with a larger exhaust system and an air raid intake system. Ryan chose to add a FSS 165 after considering all of the tough scenarios and lengthy roads traveled. Estimated in December 2021, Dmaxryno's net worth is $181,000. This figure is calculated by assuming that he earns anywhere between $3 to $7 per thousand views, which would add up to yearly earnings of $45,000. However, some sources suggest that with YouTube advertisements and increasing monthly viewership, now at 700,000 plus views every month, his net worth should be near the ballpark figure of $250,000. However, as Ryan has said in the past, YouTube's not his main goal. He plans to grow his construction business and apparel store and is happy with the pace his channel is growing. He says, "Of course YouTube is an added bonus and I'm glad that I have so many fans online. I certainly plan on growing my channel and do not have plans of leaving anytime soon." So that's good news for all of us. To sum up, it's comfortable to assume that Dmaxryno is certainly a man on a mission. He wishes to re-establish the pride that people working blue-collar jobs once had, and is using his construction company to do so. What do you like about Dmaxryno? Let us know in the comments down below. If you like Dmaxryno, make sure you check out the next video on Chris Fix, who's a DIY car guy. Also, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notification bells to always stay up to date with our videos. Drive safe!